It's just shenanigan after shenanigan. Sheeper by the dozen. Ask Steve Martin, Hooli, Hoopin, Yee, Haws, Ha Ha. Ha-holligans.
Torkin, hippers, happers, wing dang, tripper, trapper, zim zam, dilly dally.
For a long time.
Musical Monday, Musical Monday. If you love doing everything wrong,
Then you gotta become your own stepmom. Musical Monday.
Hello and welcome back to Musical Monday with Zach and Shae at Improv Broadway. I'm Zach.
I'm Shae.
And we're at Improv Broadway, and joined with us is the person who I wish was my real biological father, Caleb Wall on the keys.
I wish he was my mommy.
I wish he'd give me Milky.
I wish he'd give me Milky. I wish he was my mommy.
I wish he'd give me Milky. I wish he was my mommy. I wish he'd spank my bottom when I misbehave.
I wish he'd spank my bummy so then we could behave.
I wish he'd marry Daddy and give him lots of smoochies.
I wish that I could suck on his nipples for breast monkeys.
That's Caleb. We all wish that was true. Oh, man. And speaking of moms, I am so excited to talk about today's musical that talks about the unsung category of moms, the most underappreciated facet of motherhood. Of course, I'm talking about the stepmom.
Stepmoms, breast milk not included.
Not included. That would be weird. No stepmom has ever nursed their stepchildren.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
gosh.
The nursemaids from olden times, you would hire a nursemaid that was pregnant.
A wet nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't your stepmom. That was like the help who'd be like, your job is to biologically produce milk for my children and bring them back to me when they're 3 years old, right?
I know, but I'm just saying it's totally possible that a stepmom got pregnant and there's another baby in the house and she's like, sure, why not?
Sure.
Also,
Plenty to share.
What do you think the percentage of those wet nurses that end up becoming stepmoms?
I'm going to say
I think it's pretty
2%
high.
milk. Was that a good joke?
No.
Dang. But there are so many good jokes in Stepmom the musical. Because it talks about all of the tropes of what those... Because, okay, let's just get this out of the way. This is not about hot stepmoms. This is not about a category on the internet that every teenage boy loves. No, this is about the struggles of a stepmom. They have to deal with all of the tropes of bratty kids who don't appreciate anything they do.
And their big old uggo stepmom. Super ugly. Unkissable ugly.
Unkissable ugly. Hashtag Penelope.
That's a quote from the Penelope movie where she has a big nose.
Which, by the way, can I talk about the Penelope movie for a second?
Let's talk about it.
The woman, the
Have
actress.
you seen it, Caleb?
It's incredible.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
a good movie, right?
The movie breaks because she's so much better looking as a pig than as a normal human being. And I know that's a weird thing to say for me to give that value judgment on a woman's looks, but I remember it's just like, oh, if that was in real life, I would legit be like, you're like really weirdly attractive with this pig nose and you're different. But then like the second it's like, oh, you're kind of plain Jane.
There's a part at the end where the mom's like, because the mom's a little bit of a villain in that movie, and after her nose changes, the mom's like, what if we just did a little, just a little cute, and she's like suggesting that Penelope get nose surgery after all of this trauma. And when Zach saw that part, he was like, well, what's wrong with that? Why shouldn't a mother suggest that she improve her
It was a
looks?
moment of redemption because I thought she was saying, why didn't you go back to the piggy nose? I missed the piggy nose. And the witch sees this, who's secretly a male butler, and says, I will take away your voice forever. Not when you abused her for 25 years, but when you suggested you get rhinoplasty, pigoplasty.
And you should never silence women. And that is
And
the
that's
message
the moral
of
of the story. But the moral of this story, we will find out as we discover the arc of our lead protagonist. Her name, of course, is Shayla. Shailene. Sheba. Shorinky. I can't remember her name. What was her name?
The funny thing is in the first scene, it shows her growing up. and her parents didn't like her that much, so they didn't bother giving her name. So she's like deciding, what do I want my name to be?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard
She's
to remember
constantly
where she
legally
landed.
changing it at the courthouse.
She ends on Shorky. For some
Shorky.
reason.
Shorky the stepmom.
She's young when she decides. She's like 3. And her parents are like, are you sure? And she says,
Shorky,
yeah.
sure.
Shorky, sure.
It's just like, how old are you? 5 when you legally changed your name, Shae?
Yeah.
You're 5 years old, and you want to
Yeah.
say, I don't want to be Megan anymore. I want to be Shae. And like every responsible mom has said, yeah, 5-year-old child, I think you know they went to change your name. It's actually really cool of your mom.
Yeah.
That also happened to Shorky.
So Shorky, she grows up and she is only attracted to divorceos. There's something about
not divorcees, divorceos.
Divorceos.
The male conjugation of divorce. Yeah.
and but usually she doesn't want kids. Usually she's like, I can't handle that.
I can't handle that
But
stress.
she falls in love with a group of just adorable 5 kids who are just
Well, she falls in love with the dad.
Yes.
Who has these 5 kids.
Right.
Yes, but she falls in love with them as part of this family unit.
right as the story continues.
Yes.
But it's tough to acclimate
It's really
with
hard.
a new family. And so in this first song, one of the little girls, she's so sweet, but she has a lot of problems with the stepmom. So she sandwiches all of her insults in a compliment sandwich.
Yes.
So she always starts off with something that she likes. So she'll be like, Schwarky, I really like you, but I wish you hadn't married my dad, but I really like you. And that's how all of the things.
Because they're coping with this, this mixture of
Yeah.
some good, some bad.
Yeah.
In this beautiful song, Clement Sandwich.
I really like your enchiladas, but I have to say nada to the idea of you taking me to the park because you're ugly. I wish that I still had my old family, even though your shoes still look really pretty. I don't think that you are bad, but I wish that you got run over by a car because I don't want you married to my dad. It's a compliment sandwich. I hope that you don't take offense. It's a compliment sandwich. I hope that you don't take offense. I think you ruined my family. You're a home wrecker. But can I also say I love your checkered sweater? It's a compliment sandwich. I hope that you don't take offense. It's a compliment sandwich. I hope that you don't take offense.
And she was the sweet one.
It goes downhill from there.
Truly. I mean, for every one Clement Sandwich, there is an insult hoagie coming from one of the boys, one of the 5 kids.
Just full of just vile language.
Ugh, poison.
Right, but
Yeah.
because they can't swear in this musical, there's what replaces the swear words again in this song, Zach?
I think it is mouth farts.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, and it's hard to tell if the musical replaced the swear words with mouth farts or if the kid just mouth farts instead of swearing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure what happens is one person is mouthing it, and one of the actors, because they couldn't afford a soundboard, they had
Of
to
course.
anticipate when the mouth fart was going to happen. And so they try to leave empty space open for the mouth fart when another actor will come in and fart over it.
Yeah, it's really complicated, and a lot of the audience members were like, why didn't they just not swear?
Yeah.
But the farts are really convincing.
The farts, and we don't have time for a full song, but I think
Yeah.
we have time for just a tiny 30-second snippet.
I think we have time for the full song.
full
It's not
song,
like
you
he's swearing
think?
the whole time.
Well,
There's
I
just
mean,
a few moments.
Do we want the 2 out of the 3 songs we highlight be ripping on the mom?
To
I
be fair,
guess
this is the
not.
song that got the most attention from the critics. I think the audience deserves to see
Let's
it.
just give a 30-second teaser, and if we like it,
Alright.
it'll be a full song.
As the kids say, why don't you let her rip?
In this song,
Oh,
snippet.
Fartastic.
Mommy, in quotes that I say, I think that you're a and I want you to go away and shove up your yeah, see? It's a 6-minute song. And yeah, I mean, it's a little grady, but it's important because it starts the catalyst for change. Because stepmoms put on a brave face, but what happens when they think, after all the incredible meals, after they do all their laundry, after they spend all of this time giving amazing activities, and it's still not enough? Why? Women are human too. And they break down. Which is one thing that this musical teaches us, is women are human too.
Women are human too. After all of the science studies that we've done and the peer reviews, it cannot be denied.
Listen, you might be a skeptic of the scientific world. You may not believe it, but after you hear this, you'll realize women are human too.
You don't have to believe in global warming. You don't have to believe in vaccines, but you should believe that women are human.
You don't even have to believe they're equal, but you have to admit that they're human.
You must.
Of course, I do. And Caleb does too, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for you skeptics out there, keep your opinions to yourself. But the one opinion you have to keep is that women are human too. And yeah, in this second song that we're highlighting, the stepmom is talking to her mom and talking about how hard it is to raise these dear Gerstern kids.
Dear Gerstern kids.
And she's just saying, like, how did you do it, Mom? You always did everything with grace, and we loved you. And her real mom chuckles, and he says,
Clucks.
she clucks and guffaws, snorts and
Chortles.
chortles in her face, and says, "Oh, you think it was easy for me?" And so they're going back and forth, talking about their different struggles throughout the day, and it's almost like a one-upping song.
Yeah. And it's called Mom versus Mom.
Mom, you had it easy with this bunch. You've never been slapped during the time of lunch. You've never had 5-step kids who push you down the stairs. You never had it quite so rough. You never had it like me being so tough. You us as kids, for you were pew angels. You had it easy raising us. I feel like I'm driving on a crazy bus, but you drove a limousine. Comparatively, it's mom versus mom. Oh, it's mom versus mom. Oh, it's mom versus mom, and I had it worse.
I wouldn't say that it was easy. You kids were way too cheesy, calling me pregnant all the time when I didn't have anything in this womb of mine. You would stay all night saying I'm not in this spaghetti. I said, well, then you'll have to get ready for bed.
weren't pregnant when we all thought you were with child.
I'm saying that you said I was pregnant because you were basically calling me fat.
Well, I was a bad kid, I guess you had it kinda bad. But has us ever get into your psyche and make you really sad?
You would run away and hide at Target and make me think that I had forgotten you kids at the store when it was all an elaborate ploy.
Well, did we ever get tattoos that say never, Mom, with a picture of your face?
You got tattoos that said I love Dad more than your face.
Well, it was Father's Day. It's Mom versus Mom. It's Mom versus Mom. Oh, it's Mom versus Mom. And I definitely had him more roast. And don't moms just do that? Compare their woes?
Classic mom behavior, I think.
Classic moms, because moms are human too.
One thing about us is none of us are moms on this podcast.
I don't want to take that away from anybody.
Yeah.
Anyone could choose to be if they want to.
They can be, but as of yet, none of us are moms.
As of tonight, now the time, none of us are moms.
So it's just shenanigan after shenanigan. Sheeper by the dozen ask Steve, Martin, Hooli, Hoopin, Yee, Haws, Holligans.
Toinkin, hippers, happers, wing dang, tripper, trapper, zim zam, dilly dally.
For a long time. And then, of course, we reach the end of the musical where the mom has a heart-to-heart with one of the most unruly children.
Yes. Yes.
Bacon.
It's Schwanky.
It's Shorky and Bacon.
Shorky and Bacon.
He changed his name too. He said, Dad, if your wife can do it, why not me?
And the dad's a real wet blanket. So he just folded over and said,
Sure.
anything you want, kid, why don't you go play screens? Leave Daddy alone.
Daddy's got to work till 6.
Yeah.
Go play some screens.
Why don't you go play some
Why don't you go play
screens?
some Roblox? I'm sure it's not violent.
I'm sure only nice kids get on that chat.
Oh, I can turn off the chat feature? I don't want to bother with that. Just don't respond. You know what? It's easier not to teach you to read rather than having to censor this chat feature.
What's that? You're pretending to not know how to read so that you can go on this and chat with a 40-year-old man?
Oh, gosh, all these random references. But yeah, she has a heart-to-heart with Bacon. And she realizes that they've been acting up, well, because it's been hard too. Because they didn't realize they would love her so much.
That's right. In fact, they love her so much, they say, we won't bully you anymore. And if we do, you can spank us.
Please spank us. And Bacon begs to be spanked. And she sets a boundary and says, Bacon, no, I see what you're doing. But no, we're going to come up with other punishments. And he lets it go. And he comes up with something else. No screens. And he throws a tantrum.
He says, please, I'd rather be spanked.
I'd rather be spanked.
Have no
and she
screens.
said, no, I see what you're doing here. And they realize that you don't have to share blood to love someone like your own child.
In this song, we're just a couple of kids. Then the stepmom is singing that. Because we're all just a couple of kids.
And kids are human too.
Kids are human too.
Bacon, Is it okay? Can I say I love you?
Yeah, do I have to call you Mrs. Mom?
Just Mom if you want. Or Shoinky if you'd rather.
I think I'll call you Mr. Mom.
Sure. You can misgender me, I don't care. You can throw tantrums, rip out your hair. 'cause I understand what's going on. Having a new mom, I know it can be just a little bit confusing. You know, I never had kids of my own. I only liked divorceos, and I fell hard for your dad. But thinking of life without him and all of you bacon, why that now makes me sad. So don't think of me as your mom, just think of me as one of the kids, playing here, playing Roblox, going and doing the things kids did with you. We can do whatever we want, we can play all the games that we need, and you can complain whenever all the meals that I feed.
We're just a couple of kids.
Just a couple of kids.
We're just a couple of kids.
Just a couple of kids.
You might be an adult woman, but we're both just a couple of kids. I used to be scared to have a stepmom. I used to pray every night that it would stop. I used to get on my knees and ask the heavens, please, can they have an ugly divorce that ends with this woman in sobs? I said I hope that she gets a terrible lawyer that doesn't let her get her prenup rights. I used to say, hey, can you destroy her? Can you keep her up crying at night? But now I'm so grateful to have you on Roblox, so you can block all those creepy 40-year-olds pretending to be my age. It's really a gray area that I could talk about with my dad.
We are
Just a couple of kids. Just a couple of kids.
Just a couple of,
Just a couple of kids.
just a couple of
kids.
kids.
And I may be mature for my age. They tell me I'm an old soul, but I can still appreciate a new stepmom that can make me whole. Two moms is better than one. Now I can have 2 times the fun.
And 5 kids is better than 0. I don't just wanna be your stepmom, I also wanna be your superhero in Roblox.
You're way better than my dad. Why don't we ditch that guy and go to Vegas?
Hey, I see where you're going, and no thanks. You're taking us down the road of Spanx, and once again, bacon, it's not gonna happen.
Okay, sorry, it's just we're just a couple of kids. 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 We're just a couple of kids doing the unexpected.
I love you, friend.
And I love you, Mr. Mom.
Don't spank me.
You spanked me.
No, bacon, no!
Please, I want.
Oh, and that's how every step relationship should be, I think.
Well, not me.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But the one thing we can both agree on is this episode has to end. And we recognize that there are all sorts of families of shapes and sizes, single parents, blended families, people without any kids at all. But when you're here, you're our family. And we would adopt every single one of you if that wouldn't be weird or legally complicated. But what's not complicated at all is spending 20 or so minutes with us every week, singing songs no one's ever heard nor asked for, here with us at Musical Monday. Get over here, Mom.
I'm slapping you
No, I'm slapping you, Bacon. No, I'm spanking you. Okay, get your dad in the mix. Come on.